Right now at 6, local firefighters respond to a vehicle collision call right at their own station. Plus, it's going to be very warm, very windy out there today ahead of some big changes in the forecast. I have a look at that forecast to get you out the door coming up. And the Salvation Army opens a new facility in Miami. We're going to see how that will benefit the community.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News just after 6 a.m. on this Tuesday morning. And some of you may be waking up thinking that you slept from February to May with how warm it already is out there, but you didn't. Unfortunately, some of you may have been wanting to take a good long nap. But it's very warm and it is windy, and that is how it's going to be today. In fact, we have red flag warnings and wind advisories for the entire area. So absolutely no outdoor burning, no grilling, none of that business out there that involves any kind of spark or flame. This is our camera on top of the Cornell complex in downtown Joplin. We got a few clouds out there now. We'll see those clouds, of course, increase again pretty quickly this morning as we got a mostly cloudy day. Very windy. Take a look at the flags on City Hall whipping in the breeze, and even our camera is shaking a bit out there. MoDOT camera 32nd in range line, looking back to the west, looking pretty good so far this morning. And a look at the KDOT camera right by Kansas Crossing on 69, it is technically looking about northeast, but right along 69, also looking pretty good though, and that's the expectation. We are sitting at 67 in Joplin, 9 degrees cooler in Pittsburgh, sitting at 58 degrees as we get this day underway. All of us in store for very warm weather. Kids getting on the bus, we're going to average about 59 at 7 a.m. Mostly clear skies, southwest breeze 10 to 15, gusting upwards of 25 miles an hour. We've already seen some gusts higher than that. And then today, mostly cloudy, 81 when that bus brings them home. That southwest wind sustained at about 20 to 30, gusts to 45. Some of us could even see gusts pushing 50 miles an hour. That's why we have the red flag warnings and the wind advisories for everybody out there. And that's why, again, we cannot stress enough the importance of absolutely no outdoor burning. Don't even throw your cigarette out the window, as we've been saying this morning, because that could spark a grass fire. It's very dry, very breezy, and it would not take much for one of those to spread very quickly. Mostly cloudy skies through the day, seeing a few peaks of sun here and there, upper 70s, low 80s, and then that cold front will start to roll through later this evening, and it'll bring us some shower chances. We're not anticipating any severe weather. In fact, even our thunderstorm chances have dropped, but we could still have a rumble of thunder or two out there, and the showers, by the way, are going to be isolated to widely scattered at best. Temperatures dropping 50 degrees as we head overnight tonight. We'll have a look at that in the full forecast a little later. Now to this morning's top stories. The state of Kansas now officially has a severe weather preparedness week. Governor Laura Kelly last week signed a proclamation designating the week of March 4th through March 8th as severe weather preparedness week in the state. As part of the week's activities, there will be a statewide tornado safety drill on March 6th at 11 a.m. Officials also encourage people to use the week to prepare an emergency kit and plan so that all members of your household are ready when severe weather strikes. Staff on duty at the Independence Fire EMS building went into action when a pickup truck crashed into the back of the station. Firefighters heard what sounded like an explosion and saw a dumpster fly into the air before striking a canopy roof and falling to the ground. Emergency workers managed to free a person who was trapped in the truck. That person was taken by helicopter to the hospital. Police are investigating the crash. Nevada firefighters responded to a fire Monday afternoon, this one located north of the Vernon County Square in the 200 block of East Locust. Firefighters were able to contain the fast-moving blaze. A garage with a car was destroyed, then an adjoining residence suffered extensive damage. Another residence had siding melt due to the intense heat. Nevada Fire Chief Troy Denny says no one was injured and they are still investigating the cause of the fire. The Red Cross has also responded to assist the residents displaced by the fire. The Missouri Department of Conservation wants to remind hunters and anglers now is the time to renew their hunting and fishing licenses, and Missourians can do so online. Related annual permits expire at the end of February, including 2023 permits for small game fishing, trout fishing, and combination hunting and fishing. For more information on how to renew your license, you can check out our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Missouri State Auditor Scott Fitzpatrick released a follow-up report for the city of Purcell. It finds the city is still working to implement many of the recommendations made by a 2022 audit that gave the municipality a rating of poor. The original report was initiated by a citizen petition and led to the former mayor pro tem being charged with stealing after uncovering more than $3,200 in missing or misappropriated money. Follow-up report looks at 19 of the recommendations made in the original audit and finds the city has fully implemented only 4 of them. Kansas Capitol yesterday hosted the JAG-K Senior Days event. JAG-K stands for Jobs for America's Graduates, Kansas. More than 130 Kansas students attended the event to learn more about the governmental process. The day also served as a way for students to meet with legislators from their respective areas. The event also gave students the opportunity to tour the campuses of Washburn University and Washburn Tech. And the Salvation Army of Ottawa County Service Center moving to a new space that fits all of their services. It's moving from Steve Owens Boulevard to 1915 North Main Street in Miami. At first glance, it may look like just a thrift store, but it's much more. It provides free clothing, access to the food pantry, and social services to people in need.
It is a few hundred square feet larger. It houses all 3 of our services. So we have social services, we have a clothing shopping experience that's free for people, and we also have a food pantry.
Salvation Army of Ottawa County Service Center is currently open on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 until noon. And that is a look at our top stories and weather in the first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, Florida health officials say 2 more cases of measles have been identified in kids. Love what you need to know. Plus, voters head to the polls in the first major battleground state of the primary election season. And we're going to take another look at that forecast and those big changes on the way. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Okay, we may have gone a fan favorite. In finance, they call that one heck of a deal. $1.99 Sonic quarter-pound double cheeseburger.
Topping Nation Watch this morning, Florida health officials say 2 more cases of measles have been identified in kids in Broward County, raising the total to 8. One case is in a child between the ages of 5 and 9. The other is in a child who's 4 or younger. It's unclear if they're connected to an outbreak at Manatee Bay Elementary School in Weston. Florida officials are deferring to parents on whether they choose to send unvaccinated kids to school. Kentucky authorities say the Campbellsville University student who died over the weekend was strangled. 18-year-old Josiah Kilman was discovered unresponsive in his room on campus Saturday. 21-year-old Charles Escalera was arrested later that same day. According to a university spokeswoman, Escalera and Kilman were both on the school's wrestling team. Police say they don't have a motive yet. An independent panel is recommending significant changes at Boeing that center around safety concerns. The panel is made up of Federal Aviation Administration officials and representatives from airlines, labor unions, and safety units at other aerospace companies. It was formed after Boeing's deadly 737 MAX crashes in 2018 and 2019 and was not a response to a January incident when a door plug blew out of a Boeing 737 MAX 9 jet in mid-flight. The review panel conducted more than 250 interviews and reviewed more than 4,000 pages of documents. The report released Monday found employees did not understand their role in safety and feared retaliation for raising safety-related concerns. Monday, New York's legislature voted against proposed new congressional district lines. The map was devised by the state's Independent Redistricting Commission, which is bipartisan. Several Democrats in New York are concerned it doesn't change district lines much in New York City's suburbs. Those areas are expected to be potential battlegrounds in November. Democratic-controlled legislature will now draw its own map, but that could trigger litigation over gerrymandering accusations. Right now, New York is using a district map overseen by a state judge in 2022 to reflect changes in the 2020 census. Former President Trump has paid out nearly $400,000 in legal fees to the New York Times after his failed lawsuit. Trump was ordered by a judge to pay $392,000 in January after his case against the news outlet for disclosing his tax information in a 2018 article was dismissed. Judge ruled that the Times and its journalist's decision to disclose his tax information was protected by the New York Constitution. There have been recent amendments made to New York's laws to allow courts to quickly dismiss certain lawsuits that target journalists' First Amendment speech. Today, voters head to the polls in the first major battleground state of the primary election season, Michigan. Former President Donald Trump is hoping to add to his delegates' lead in the race for the GOP nomination. But his former UN ambassador Nikki Haley signaled she's not going down without a fight. Meanwhile, President Biden is facing backlash from voters who oppose his handling of the Israel-Hamas conflict. CBS News' Jared Hill has more from New York.
Ahead of today's primary in Michigan, 2024 Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley vowed to keep up the fight against her party's frontrunner, former President Donald Trump.
I'm fighting to make sure he's not the nominee. I don't think he or Joe Biden should be president.
But Trump has already won every GOP primary so far, and he's expected to add the Great Lakes state to the list tonight.
He has a lot of momentum, there's no doubt about it.
President Biden is also on the ballot, but he faces opposition from people critical of his handling of the war between Israel and Hamas. Activists are pushing supporters to vote uncommitted in protest.
The whole world demonstrated and demanded for this war to stop. He does have this power.
Experts say protest votes in Michigan's primary could spell trouble for Biden come November in a battleground state he won in 2020 after it went for Trump in 2016.
If a sizable portion of the Democratic electorate here in Michigan votes uncommitted during the primary, that will be a 5-alarm fire for the White House.
Later this week, both Trump and Biden turn their attention to the southern border with dueling trips to Texas.
I've been planning to go Thursday. What I didn't know is my good friend apparently is gone.
Meanwhile, Haley has a rally scheduled today in Colorado, part of a multi-state run in the lead up to next week's Super Tuesday. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Early voting ended in Michigan over the weekend. State election officials say that more than 1 million ballots have already been cast. That's a 13% increase over 2020. Let's look at some of today's top national stories, and we are keeping an eye on some of those really big changes in our forecast. Look at Skywatch Storm Tracker. We got those clouds rolling back in. So after a brief period of clear skies, we're going to start to cloud back up again and taking a wider view. No precipitation out there right now, and honestly, most of us will remain dry even through tonight. Quick look outside. Our camera, 7th and range line in Joplin, looking pretty good so far, but it is breezy out there, and we do have red flag warnings and wind advisories across the area today with gusts pushing 40, 45, maybe even 50 miles an hour. Highs upper 70s, low 80s out there, breezy across the area. We're going to have another look at your forecast right after this.
For Vita Nova Village's Mom Prom, March 9th.
A California bakery is feeling the love after a big business deal fell through recently. The Giving Pies had a last-minute order of 4,000 mini pies. However, that was later canceled, leaving the bakery holding the bag. But as Zach Fuentes reports, the bakery is now thriving, and that business, Tesla, made sure to settle their debt.
It's a beloved San Jose business that now has the hearts of even more people across the Bay Area and beyond.
I don't think I have any words to say how grateful I am.
Grateful because the community rallied around her business, the Giving Pies, after it took a significant hit. Owner Vladny Rasatarinera says Tesla requested a last-minute order for 2,000 mini pies, later doubled it, and then canceled last minute, something that's never happened in Rasatarinera's experience with large corporations.
They request a quote, I send the quote, they approve, I send the invoice, I'm paid immediately.
Tesla said an employee mistakenly told her that payment was guaranteed when it was not. The business was out $2,000 for already purchased ingredients.
When you're a big corporation, $2,000 is pocket money. It's nothing. You spend more on feeding your employee than that. But for us, it's a lot.
Days after the cancellation, Rossi Tarinera shared her story on social media where it went viral. We met her the same day. By then, customers already started pouring in to support her. That response only skyrocketed in the days after. She had so many customers over the weekend that she had to close Monday to catch up and fulfill orders. ABC7 reached out to Tesla when we first met with Rossi Tarinera and never heard back. She heard from them moments after our first interview with her. Later, Elon Musk got wind of the story and responded, saying that he will make things good with the bakery.
They asked me to cater March 5th and 7th, but I had to decline because I don't have any more crust because everybody came to buy pies, and we have so many events in March. We have Pie Day, we have women's event, we also have Easter this year, so it's all crazy. I really don't have any time for them.
About an hour after our interview update with Rossi Tarinera, she confirmed to me that Tesla has officially repaid the $2,000 she was out. Though she's too busy to work with them right now, she says she is open to the possibility of working with Tesla again sometime in the future.
We're all humans, we all make mistakes, and they're trying to do good on their mistakes. So if they want to work with me and they're not bitter about the whole experience, then yes.
In San Jose,
certainly impressive how she's handling that as well. People make mistakes, but that's a very big mistake. Thankfully, Tesla trying to make good on it, and even better so, the community came to her aid. All right, let's talk about the weather. We're going to do so with 5 seconds here. It is a nice start to the day. Clouds increasing and winds increasing, as well as temperatures. We'll have a look at the full forecast right after this.
Between sausage or bacon.
Heart for Veterans. Please consider joining the battle against veteran suicide. Contact Scotty at Charlie 22 to learn about impactful partnerships.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 6:22 now on this Tuesday morning. Live look from our camera on the Cornell Complex. Beautiful view of the sunrise, a great start to the day. Clouds gradually beginning to increase, and the winds increasing, and the temperatures increasing as well. MoDOT camera, 32nd in range line, looking back west. Also looking fairly good as folks get their day underway. And same from the KDOT camera on 69 just south of Pittsburgh. Looking great, getting a little more daylight out there. And it is going to be a warm one, but it's going to be a windy one. Red flag warnings. South parts of southeast Kansas into Missouri until 9. Everyone else until 8 this evening. I know I've said it many times, and some of you who've been watching all morning are like, man, you're going to keep saying it. But we've got to emphasize, absolutely no outdoor burning. You can't grill. You can't throw your cigarette out the window. You can't do any of that because it is dry and breezy enough that that could turn into a significant fire in a short order. So please do not. Wind advisories. Again, parts of Kansas, Missouri until 9 tonight. Everyone else until 3 o'clock tomorrow morning. We could see wind gusts 40, 45 miles an hour. Some of us could even see wind gusts up to 50 miles an hour. So let's take a look at those gusts. As we go through the day, they're going to be out of the southwest for most of the day. It won't be until this cold front starts to roll through that we're going to see those winds shift behind it out of the north. But as you can see, they're still going to be very gusty overnight and into tomorrow. So that's also going to lead to some pretty chilly wind chills, anywhere from teens, 20s, 30s in the first half of our Wednesday. It won't be until about early afternoon that the winds will start to calm down just a little bit out there. For today, mostly cloudy skies. We'll get some peaks of sun here and there. We are going to be very warm. As you can see, most of us low 80s out there. And then as that front rolls in, we're going to see a few showers out there. There may be a rumble of thunder or two, but most of this is looking to be isolated to widely scattered rain showers. Here's that front by 7 this evening. Of course, temperatures beginning to fall on the backside of it, still quite warm ahead of it. Wind shifting out of the north, and as temperatures fall tonight, we could see a stray snow shower or two out there as well overnight, but we're not really anticipating much, if anything, in terms of accumulations out there. But what we are expecting is this, a 50-degree or about a 50-degree drop in temperatures as we go into the overnight hours. So enjoy this day because it is going to be very cold tonight and very cold tomorrow. 67 right now in Joplin. Bear in mind we should be about 35 degrees colder than that right now. South-southwest breeze at 17 miles an hour. Temperatures around the region a little cooler still off to the north, 47 in Iola. Everyone else, though, as you can see, 50s and 60s out there. We even had some 70s earlier this morning, and we're all going to turn around and warm right back up today. Mostly cloudy skies. Low 70s by late morning with those gusty winds. Highs, upper 70s, a lot more low 80s out there. And then as we head into the evening, again, a few stray showers will be possible. We're still breezy. And bear in mind, this is an approximation. Some of you, this front is going to roll through a little earlier, so you're going to see temperatures falling earlier than this, but roughly this is what we're looking at. We'll all see temperatures fall the same way, just at different times, and we're all eventually going to make it back down into the upper 20s and low 30s tonight. Low 40s tomorrow. We should be in the low 50s. We're 10 degrees colder tomorrow. Low 50s Thursday, the only average day we have. And we could see a straight evening shower or two. Heading into the weekend, temperatures warm right back up. Upper 70s, near 80 by Sunday. Another system with some showers and thunderstorms Sunday into Monday does bring our temperatures back down a little bit, but not as significantly as this system does. And we'll fall back into the upper 50s, low 60s next week. More rain chances next Wednesday and Thursday. Switching gears over to Health Watch this morning. Children who use tobacco are more likely to attempt suicide. That's according to researchers at Massachusetts General Hospital, looked at nearly 9,000 preteens. They found kids who had used tobacco were at a 3 to 5 times increased risk of suicide attempts. Alcohol, cannabis, or prescription drug use did not have the same risk. And most pediatricians say it's their job to identify substance use disorders and refer patients for off-site treatments, but only 1 in 5 say it's their responsibility to treat the patient. Those are the new findings of a new survey in JAMA Pediatrics. Of nearly 500 pediatricians, less than half said they feel prepared to even counsel children on opioid use. And scientists around the globe agree that 2023 was the hottest year on record, and now a new study finds a strong association with hot temperatures and preterm birth. Australian scientists looked at more than 1 million births over 20 years. Women exposed to extreme heat in the 3rd trimester were more likely to give birth early. Exposure during the first 2 trimesters did not carry the same risk. And that's a look at some of your biggest health stories. We'll be right back.
We have so many cool, diverse. It's our ministry.
Are you game? I am ready. Then take a spin on the Wheel of Fortune.
Right now at 6:30, Pitt State yesterday handed out a first-of-its-kind degree from a university in Kansas. And we've got a warm and windy day across the 4 states ahead of some big changes. We'll have a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up. And Fort Scott High School hosted its Academic Technology and Fine Arts Showcase.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It is now 6:30. I'm Chris Warner. Sometimes I question myself about that. That's why they put my name down there, in case I do forget, because at some point it's probably going to happen. When you're in here and you're talking to yourself, this is like hosting a radio show, except there's a camera and I can see myself. I feel like I'm in a radio booth and I should be, playing some music right now. Unfortunately, I have no buttons out here anywhere that will play any music for you. Plus, we don't have a license to play any music other than our, da-da-da-da-da, nice little theme there. So that's the best I can do. But I can tell you about today's news, and I can tell you about today's weather. And we're going to take a quick look outside. This is the MoDOT camera, 32nd in range line in Joplin, looking pretty good. Same from the KDOT camera on 69, right by Kansas Crossing, where you've got a really nice start to the day. It's breezy. It's relatively mild out there as well. Temperatures, 67 in Joplin, 59 in Pittsburgh. And I know some of you at home may not be able to see this. If it says high fire danger, dry conditions, do not discard cigarettes. What have I been saying all morning? You can't do that. Seriously, we have red flag warnings, wind advisories across the entire area. The fire danger is extremely high. It is very dry. It is going to be very windy. You could not be burning, grilling, throwing cigarettes out your window, anything like that, because this grass out here is going to be very susceptible to it, and even something as simple as a cigarette could start a significant grass fire. So please be safe, be responsible today. We are looking at otherwise really warm temperatures. 59 this morning when the kids get on the bus. Southwest breeze 10 to 15, gusts 25, maybe 30 miles an hour. And then by the time they come home, those winds really picking up. Same with the temperatures though. 81 at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Southwest breeze 20 to 30 sustained with gusts 45. Some of us could even see gusts upwards of 50 miles an hour out there. We're going to be partly to mostly cloudy through the day. Highs upper 70s, a lot of low 80s out there. And then later this evening, that cold front starts to roll through. It's going to start to drop temperatures. It's going to bring us some rain chances, could even bring us some snow shower chances. The good news is no severe weather expected on the rain side and no significant, really no accumulations really expected at all from the snow side. And we will have another complete look at your forecast here in just a few more minutes. To today's top stories, the city of Joplin wants to remind customers of the city's wastewater service that failure to pay sewer charges can result in water service being shut off. Missouri American Water Company's disconnection and reconnection fee is $188. City of Joplin encourages customers to call the city if they're unable to pay their sewer bill because of unforeseen circumstances. And you can find more information on our website, that is KOAMnewsnow.com. Pitt State yesterday handed out a first-of-its-kind degree from a university in Kansas. More than 1,000 students received an Associate's of Arts degree in General Studies. Students with the degree will receive an honor cord for commencement when they finish their bachelor's degree. Later this spring, the university will award the degree to former students who stopped short of a bachelor's degree but met the Associate's requirements. Fort Scott High School yesterday hosted its Academic Technology and Fine Arts Showcase. Community members were invited out to the event to check out what the students have been working on. The projects included academic displays, demos, art exhibits, digital creations, shop class tours, and a whole lot more.
I hope the community sees how much our students are capable of, because we have some amazing students here. As we look forward to creating a technical school in this area, I hope that they can see that this technical school will really serve our students well.
There were also musical performances from the school's jazz band, chamber orchestra, and choir. How long does it take to solve a Rubik's Cube? Well, if you're 11-year-old Taryn Nelson from Jennings, Missouri, it takes less than 2 minutes. This fifth grader is known at his elementary school as the Rubik's Cube Kid. That's because he can get all 6 sides of the cube to display a single color in as fast as 43 seconds. The classic 3D puzzle has stumped countless adults for decades, but not Taryn.
Oh, what does it do for me? It keeps me distracted. You don't have to be smart to solve a Rubik's Cube. All you need to know is the algorithms.
Well, in case you're wondering, the world record for the quickest time solving a Rubik's Cube is 3.13 seconds. I will never solve one of those, but they do make nice desk decorations. That is a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety is out with its annual list of safest vehicles. We'll have the details. And as we've mentioned, it is another warm and very windy day. We're going to see what we can expect as we head into tonight and the weekend ahead. When we come back, you're watching the KOAM Morning News.
Hello, Joplin and the 4 states. Here at Furniture and More.
On Wheels, nutritious meals delivered to your door with a side of smiles. Sign up for Pittsburgh's Meals on Wheels today.
In Consumer Watch this morning, the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety is out with its annual list of safest vehicles. Each year, the agency raises the bar, making it tougher to earn the highest ratings. Danya Bacchus tells us which car manufacturers came out on top.
71 vehicles earned a Top Safety Pick or Safety Pick Plus award from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety this year. To receive the high marks this time around, IIHS President David Harkey says the agency focused on 2 main areas: the safety of passengers in the back seat and how well the vehicles could detect and avoid pedestrians in the dark.
We've done a really good job at getting the automakers to improve their front crash prevention systems, both for vehicle to vehicle and for vehicle to pedestrian. They're really making good strides in that area.
Hyundai Motor Group, which includes the Genesis and Kia brands, led with 16 top safety awards. Toyota, which also owns Lexus, followed with 13 awards. Mazda earned 6.
They are really making a good effort to implement those interventions across their fleet, regardless of the model, regardless of the vehicle class.
The Ford Explorer was the only model from the big three U.S. automakers to make the grade.
That continues to be a struggle and continues to be a disappointment. When we look at this list, we're not seeing a lot of domestic automakers on there.
Harkey is already looking ahead to next year. Among the improvements the Institute wants to see, better head restraints to prevent whiplash injuries. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Well, the IRS says so far, tax refunds this year are slightly higher compared to a year ago. As of February 16th, the average refund was just over $3,200, a 2% increase. To date, 34 million Americans have filed their taxes. The deadline to file is April 15th, though filers can request an extension to mid-October. Several brands of lubricant eye ointments are being recalled due to the risk of an eye infection. Federal inspectors are blaming unsterile conditions at a plant in India where the products were being manufactured. The brands affected include Equate, CVS Health, and Lubricant PM. Those who have the ointments should stop using them immediately and return them to their place of purchase. The Federal Trade Commission is suing to block a proposed $24 billion merger between two grocery store chains, Kroger and Albertsons. The FTC says the deal is anti-competitive and would lead to higher prices. Several state attorneys general have joined the lawsuit. Two companies say the merger would help them better compete with Walmart, Costco, and other rivals. And check this out. If you will pardon the grocery pun, Amazon is rolling out its latest version of smart shopping carts at Whole Foods stores, creating a whole new high-tech shopping experience. Carts are designed to track what you're buying as you go, allowing you to skip the checkout line. Whole Foods in San Mateo, California will be the first in the state to deploy the new technology. Lena Howland has a preview of how it works.
On four wheels, the future of grocery shopping in California is rolling out at a San Mateo Whole Foods with the launch of the Amazon Dash Cart.
But we've designed this cart from top to bottom with the customer in mind.
In order to start using it, customers are given the choice to log into their Amazon or Whole Foods Market app using a QR code.
And it scans, signs me in, it knows it's me.
Then after signing in, it's as simple as putting a few bags in the cart and start scanning.
Just make sure the scanner hits it before you put it in the bag. And you'll see on the screen, red cherries, 16 ounces. These are on sale.
As for produce, the cart has a built-in scale which weighs as you go.
It has sensor fusion technology, which is really, it knows the weight of everything. The entire cart has a weight sensor, so it knows when it's paper bags, your own personal items, produce that is weighed by the pound and charged by the pound.
Some shoppers will notice the cart has a built-in screen showing customers a real-time receipt of all items in the cart, essentially turning this into a personal self-checkout on wheels, which even lets you search where certain items are in the store.
And you'll see it tells me where I am in the store. I'm in the specialty food section. It is in aisle 5. So I am just I could either look at the aisles or I can look at this map.
Then when you're done shopping, you skip the checkout line and leave the store using the designated dash cart lane.
And all you do is walk out.
And payment will be automatically processed using the credit card associated with your account.
Fascinating. The smart carts are optional for customers. Whole Foods will still have regular shopping carts and checkout lanes for those who prefer doing things the old-fashioned way. That's going to be me for the next 50 years. That's it for Consumer Watch. Got another look at that. Our producers are being very clever when it's just me here. They write funny things in there. It says, here's myself, again, with another look at your forecast. That's exactly what it says. It's not wrong. It just always gets me. It's very funny. All right, this is our camera downtown Joplin on the Cornell Complex. The mix of clouds and sun making for an absolutely beautiful sunrise, and it almost feels like early May out there. MoDOT camera 32nd in range line looking pretty good as well. Same from the KDOT camera on 69 right at Kansas Crossing, looking great as well. However, it is very windy, and we have red flag warnings, wind advisories across the area. We'll touch on that here in just a moment. It is 67 in Joplin, 57 in Pittsburgh. Kids getting on the bus this morning. For the most part, mostly clear skies, some clouds here and there. 59, southwest breeze 10 to 15, gusting to 25. And when that bus brings them home this afternoon, 81 degrees. Mostly cloudy, sustained southwest winds now at 20 to 30 with gusts to 45. Some could even see gusts to 50. We're going to have another full look at your forecast, including the big cool down on the way here in just a moment. It's also about time to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries. Those are coming up after the break. But first, let's see what's happening on CBS Mornings.
I'm Tony Nicopol. Coming up on CBS Mornings, Curb Your Enthusiasm star Cheryl Hines will be here to talk about the hit show's final season. Plus, Oprah reveals the latest selection to her book club. That's coming up on CBS Mornings.
Your legacy and your dreams. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
All right, time for some Tuesday birthdays in the 4 states. We're beginning in Carl Junction with Noah Casey celebrating the big number 1. Look at that smile there. Says, we love you, Mimi and Papa. Over in Lamar, Jackson Sharon celebrating birthday number 4. Happy birthday to you, Jackson. Down in Knoll, Kelsey Pickles celebrating birthday number 10 with lots of love from Mom, Dad, and Bladen. And out west in Mound Valley, Caleb Merrick celebrating birthday number 15. Happy birthday, Caleb. And back east in Carthage, Kaylee Vanway celebrating birthday number 21. Says she's a junior at the University of Arkansas pursuing a degree in health sciences. And then we've got Judy Reynolds celebrating birthday number 63 today. Charlotte Clayton over in Southwest City celebrating birthday number 70. Says we love you, Chrissy and the kids. And last but certainly not least, over in Farlington, Robert Herlocker celebrating birthday number 78. That was a short list of birthdays and anniversaries, but I do love all the pictures, and we'd love to continue seeing those. In order to celebrate your birthday or anniversary or your loved one's birthday or anniversary with us, all you need to do is submit them to birthdays with an S there at KOAMnewsnow.com. Do be sure that you make the deadline that you see at the bottom of your screen. That just makes sure we get it in time so that it'll air at the correct time for the birthday and anniversary. All right. It's been a long morning. We still got some time to go. Let's take a look at that forecast. We got some big changes on the way. We're talking a 50-degree drop in temperatures. And if that's not enough, we're talking upwards of 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts to usher that in. Our camera, Cornell Complex, downtown Joplin. Live look out there. Mix of clouds and sun, making for a nice sunrise, very mild. MoDOT camera, 32nd and range line, looking back to the west, looking pretty good this morning as folks start to get their day underway. And as I mentioned earlier, just very excited. KDOT cameras back up and running. I love them. Just so you folks in Kansas know, we weren't ignoring you. They just were not accessible for a little period, but they are back. This is the one on 69 south of Pittsburgh. That's an essential message. Do not discard cigarettes. I think sometimes when it comes to the high fire danger, when we have red flag warnings, wind advisories, the obvious thing of not starting a grass fire, not burning things outside, not burning your tree limbs or burning brush piles, things like that come to mind. It's the simple things of just throwing a cigarette out into very dry grass that you don't think about that can spark a significant grass fire with how dry it is and with how windy it's going to be. Red flag warnings across the entire area. Most of us until 8 this evening. Bourbon, Crawford, Cherokee counties and into Missouri until 9 this evening. On top of that, wind advisories as well. Again, Bourbon, Crawford, Cherokee and into Missouri, we go until 9. Everyone else until 3 o'clock tomorrow morning. And we could again see some of these wind gusts pushing upwards of 50 miles an hour. Now, for most of our day today, they're going to be out of the southwest, upwards of that 40 to 50 mile an hour range. Here's the front. So right along the front, you may notice a momentary drop in the winds before they switch out of the north on the backside of this and pick up once again in that same 30 to 40 mile an hour range out there. With the gusty north winds, that'll lead to some pretty chilly wind chills back into the upper teens, low 20s, and as we slightly warm up tomorrow, we'll see wind chills 20s and 30s out there. The good news is by early afternoon, these winds finally release their hold on us. Now, as that front passes through, it's of course going to pass through at different times for folks. So some of you may get a little colder earlier than your neighbors do. Ahead of it, Gusty southwest winds, partly to mostly cloudy skies. The majority of us highs into the low 80s today with some upper 70s. Here's the front, 5 o'clock, a few showers out there, maybe a rumble of thunder or two, but as you can see, shower chances are isolated to widely scattered at best. Winds shift out of the north behind this thing, and as temperatures fall, we could see a brief period with some light snow showers out there or even a rain-snow mix. No accumulations expected out of any of that, but you could see a few flakes flying, especially in our northern counties out there. All of us, though, as we go overnight, take a look at this. This is about a 50-degree drop in temperatures by 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. A little less than 24 hours from now. At 22 hours and 9 minutes from now, we're going to be 50 degrees colder than where we will be this afternoon. One quick check of currents out there. Again, beautiful shot of that sunrise. That mix of sun and clouds looks wonderful. 67. We should be in the 20s and 30s. 67 in Joplin. South-southwest breeze at 17. Aside from a couple of cool spots up north like Iola at 47, the rest of us 50s and 60s out there. It feels like May out there this morning. And as we get our morning started, again, partly to mostly cloudy, breezy, we're going to be 72 by 11 o'clock this morning. We'll have one more look at the forecast, plus the news you need to know. And when we make the switch over to Fox 14 at 7 a.m., we're going to learn why leap year is important for us. We'll tell you all about it.
Get a lucky break on a Shamrock Shake by saving
valor during his service to our country. We are proud to salute Ronald Parsons, a four-state hero.
Here's a check of today's top headlines and news you need to know before you head out the door. The Nevada firefighters responded to a fire Monday afternoon. This one located north of the Vernon County Square in the 200 block of East Locust. Firefighters were able to contain the fast-moving blaze. The investigation is ongoing for what started the fire. Red Cross has stepped in to assist the residents displaced by the fire. Salvation Army of Ottawa County Service Center is moving into a new space that fits all of their services. It's moving from Steve Owens Boulevard to 1915 North Main Street in Miami. They'll provide free clothing, access to the food pantry, and social services to people in need. Salvation Army of Ottawa County Service Center is currently open on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 until noon. And Kansas Governor Laura Kelly signs a proclamation designating March 4th through the 8th as Severe Weather Preparedness Week in Kansas. Being prepared includes being aware of weather conditions and having a family emergency kit and an emergency plan. As part of the week's activities, Kansas are urged to take part in the statewide tornado safety drill. That'll be Wednesday, March the 6th at 11 a.m. You can find out more at our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. And that is a quick check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Look at that forecast. Before you head out the door, again, red flag warnings, wind advisories across the entire area through today, so no outdoor burning. Very windy, gusts 40, 45, even up to 50 miles an hour out of the southwest before they switch out of the north tonight. Behind our cold front, highs today, upper 70s, low 80s, partly to mostly cloudy skies. A few stray showers, maybe a rumble of thunder through the evening, and depending on where you are, your temperatures may fall a little earlier than this as that front rolls through. We're all dropping about 50 degrees down to the upper 20s and low 30s. Much colder tomorrow, low 40s for our highs. Low 50s Thursday, maybe an evening shower, near 80 once again as we head into the weekend. Watching another system with some showers and thunderstorms Sunday into Monday. Brings our temperatures down a bit, but not as significantly as we fall back into the upper 50s and low 60s next week. Coming up at noon, we are making bourbon chicken in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, and your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. Coming up, Jill Schleichinger shares advice for new couples on working together to reach their financial goals while in a romantic relationship. Or, of course, you can hang out with us on Fox 14. Of course, Kelsey Keeney from the SEK Humane Society joining us in the studio to talk about the importance of microchipping your pets, and Charlene Patton back with us with an amazing recipe. That's going to wrap it up for us for now. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. And, of course, we'll see you today at noon.
Great Wonders Productions